Alrighty, boys, we have returned. That's right, and as you can see, I am sexy. I got a new staff, I got a new helmet, and we're about to explore why the fuck I did all this bullshit. Alright,
I cannot do that.
Do that. So, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Sound is on, we are good to go, and we are moving on to the Spire of Fire. Spirits of Fire, I guess? Yeah, level 90. I'm level 90, so we're right on curve here. Something I didn't realize is that you're literally just supposed to keep going up instead of continuing on the same one to raise corruption. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Okay, so as you can see, I no longer have static orb. I have meteor. Why do I have meteor? Allow me to demonstrate. Allow me to demonstrate even further. That's right. So basically, I was like, why do they want me to use meteor on this fucking staff, right? Because of the 100% of meteor is converted to lightning. And so I was like, okay, let's actually look at it. Let's play it a little bit. We did. And what I found is that I can cast like, what is it? That's 2, the 5, 6 meteors per cast. Make them fall quick, make them fall fast, or make them spawn quick. So the little circles, that's when that's the how they spawn. And this is fall speed. I'm thinking about taking one out of this and putting it in this, but you know, we'll worry about that later. In fact, I may end up doing that because I want to max this. And what this is base crit chance. But what it really does is the large meteor chance, 30. And the large meteor area effect is plus 100. So when I cast it, you'll see at least 1 or 2 are gigantic in area. Because this right here lowers, where is it? Which one is it? Yeah, it lowers the individual meteors deal less damage in an area. So they're smaller, but we've got this one that gives them a bonus. And I've got 3 more points that I can put into this right here, which is crit multiplier. So it makes the crit multiplier 90% of what my critical multiplier already is. And what's my critical multiplier? 291. But I also have, where is it? I have something that gives me, it's like spell critical, that's right, elemental critical strike multiplier, so I've got 23% on top of 291. There's something else that gives it to me too, I don't remember where it is. Cooldown recovery, increased mana, spell crit, that's already there. Yeah, that's on spell crit. Mana gained as ward. Maybe I don't have it anymore. Increase lightning damage. Maybe I don't have it anymore. Huh. Anyway. But I have, that's regular critical strike and multiplier. There's another one. So this is spell critical multiplier. So this 50% is not there. So that's 50 plus 23. So you're looking at 73 on top of that. And then you add meteor with another 90% on top of that. And here's the kicker. Why do I want this? Because I have a fairly high chance to crit, but here's the key. Meteor always crits if you have above 400 mana when you cast it. I have 1,000 mana. Which also means this buff right here that gives me 5 spell damage and 20% chance to refund 35% mana cost. Or chance to refund 20% of mana cost is 35%. Triple that, 106%. Happens every time. I had 1,300 at one point, but I reconfigured my entire build to make it go down a little bit so that we could get more damage out of it. And like I said, I got a new helm. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. I'm going to need another one. And we got one of these bad boys. So I want that mana to be mana regen, because unfortunately my mana regen is only 21.5. So we're still kind of lagging a little bit as far as the how our build is supposed to go. So we're basically just going to go... Didn't I build all these? I did. Great Mage. That's what I want. Okay, so... That rare relics. So if I go here, here, and here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Let's go here. And so basically we're going to go in a way where we can do the middle one first, and then we can get all the big rewards.
Fools.
I mean, the funny thing is I could get rid of all my spell crit because I'm almost always going to have 400 mana, so it's always going to crit. So I've been thinking about that. Ugh. Night and poison. Watch this. Yep. Yep. That's a big yeppers, boys. That's a big old yeppers. All right. Critical multiplier. We've got one more point, right? We're at level 18, 19, 20. No. We'll have maxed. I just won't have this maxed. 40%. I'm going to remove that one. I could have gotten them in a line, but I really didn't want it in a line. I want them like all on top of each other. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It also doesn't synergize with the lightning blast. Speaking of which, let me see something here. Doesn't Fireball synergize with Meteor? Damage, cast speed, projectiles per second. It does not. I thought there was like a synergy between some of these and Meteor. I don't know why I thought that. The volcanic orb? No. The other way around, Meteor leads to Fireball? No, I meant like... I know what you're getting at, but what I'm saying is that... right here. Fusion Blast. After using Static Orb, your next Lightning Blast casts... It does something to another spell. I thought there was something that if you used it to cast, it would give you... It would do something to Meteor. Or the other way around. Like if you've cast Meteor in Meteor... Let me go back to Fireball. Nope. I swear I thought there was a spell that did something with Meteor. I just don't remember what it is. Nope. Not that one. So I guess not. And I don't think there's anything in this tree. Oh, look at that. I didn't see that. They have faster cast and faster fall speed. 3 points in that? But it requires 2 points in this, which gives you me a buff I don't want, so we're just going to not worry about that. Yeah, so... Huh. It's not Flame Ward. Wasn't Disintegrate. Assuming it's not Glacier or Ice Barrage or any of this other bullshit, right? No. Okay. I guess I was wrong. It doesn't have any synergies. Because I was like, if I could use another tree... We can turn it into a channeled spell, but that's not very good. Miracle Gaming, greetings and salutations. Doing well. Real test of patience because the teacher ain't showing up. Well, shit. Yeah. I was thinking about grabbing Focus as well instead of Flame Ward because while I do need Flame Ward with Meteor, I don't need to stand anywhere the fuck near them. As you can see. So I've fought bosses too, dude, and I've just... decimated the shit out of them. It's even more so than static orb would, right? And I don't have to worry about damage over time or any of that other shit. $17K. Not bad, not bad. That's the only problem is that it's a slow burn. Do you play Minecraft or Call of Duty? I played Call of Duty back in the day. I've never played Minecraft except for with my daughter on the Xbox. And then I wasn't playing it very much, so no. If I can get them to fall faster, that might be good. This is why I'm like, maybe I should keep. Like, maybe I should keep Flame Ward. Maybe I could drop Arcane Ascendance instead. Because, I mean, really? It doesn't feel like I fucking need it. Yeah, and I haven't played like a first-person shooter like Call of Duty in a while. That's for sure. I'd be rusty as all hell. I kind of wanted to get back into them, but like the last time I played Call of Duty, it felt so fucking stale. Like it was the same shit. It's like buying a sports game and all they do is change the lineup. That's what it felt like. Over and over and over again. Bam, there it is. More crit. More crit. Worthless. Worthless. Do you stream every day? I try to. Some days I miss it because I have family things. And I must confess that I did take a long ass break over the past couple years. Months at a time because I had real bad family issues. One couldn't be helped. One was basically a mutant. But yes, I did. See, what that was is that's me being autistic right there. Because you asked me a question, I could have just said yes. I try to stream every day, but no. I had to literally explain every fucking intimate fucking detail about it. Can't help myself, boys. No man's invincible? Yeah, pretty much. Except my wizard. My wizard's pretty invincible. He pulled the entire map IRL. It feels like it, dude. It feels like it. Especially the stuff with my family. What's been going on after my mom died, before she died, and all that shit. And then on top of that, you know, I have children that are autistic and ADHD, so they get up in the middle of the fucking night all the time for no fucking reason other than reasons. And unlike normal children where you can usually get them to go back to bed if you snuggle with them a little bit, nah, it doesn't work with them. And trust me, I know this. I've tried it dozens upon dozens of times. Ass broken, Mark Grayson. Do you have Discord community to join? I'm having a brother to stream this right now. Yeah, sure. I do have a Discord. Just do the exclamation point Discord command. Or, you know, yeah, sorry, it's down to me forward. Absolutely. 100%. Like most of the games I've been playing lately, though, are like ARPGs, like Last Epcoh. I've gotten, I played Path of Exile 2, Space Marine 2 was also a good one. And I'm going to be playing that again as soon as they release the fucking board mode. I haven't heard anything. Maybe it's already in, and I should check it out. I should check out that game. See if they've got any new updates. Pretty invincible to me, Alan the Alien. My God. That fucking show. That fucking show. I see how it is. Look at that.
Fools.
Is it still only 17K? 18K? 20K? Okay, alright. Like, it doesn't really feel, well, maybe, it doesn't really feel like the multiplier is kicking in as hard as I wanted it to. Because I figured if I want big damage, that's how I'm going to get it. Alright, hang on, watch this, watch this. Check it out, check it out. Ah, you fucking zombie shit. That's the boss right there. Oh, wait, it's just a watcher? Goodbye. Never mind, I thought it was an actual boss. I didn't read the thing. Summon zombies my ass. Mages are always acting tough until I cast silence. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Unfortunately, because meteors are celestial objects, you can't fight them.
Yes.
I command them with my mind, not magic. Goodbye. I guess we say goodbye to that one. Physical penetration? Giggity. Still got my 3 static orb frickin'. I wanted to put lightning blast. Like 3 points of lightning blast on there. Didn't quite work out for me, as you can see. I wanted to create one where it's got the set item on the bottom, like I did with this one. Where the set item is a locked-in thing. Actually, the set item is not a locked-in thing. The critical strike multipliers. Ah, that's where it is. Yeah, I got 35 critical strike multiplier on here, 35%. That's why it's so damn high.
Yes.
Ugh. That. Interesting. Interesting. These have legendary power. Hang on a second. Wait, what does that say? It's got... Oh, it's only got 8 in... Okay.
Take care.
Only got 8 intelligence. Future loot. We're going to put this right here. And then we're going to throw that bad boy in our loot. By the way, I got a new one. 24% area for elemental skills, 28 ward a second. I lost mana on that one, right? Because this idol has more. It has armor, 7% armor, 7% mana, and but the area is so big and the ward per second is so high, I couldn't pass it up, man. Couldn't pass it up. All right, what's our inventory look like? All right. I'm gonna need another one here. We're gonna do new stash. Here. Ledge 6. Category 3. We're going to do unique and legendary. Kadoosh. Firm. Right there. Okay. So, legendaries. And they all have like either Weaver's Will or they have legendary potential. Because at some point, I'm supposed to be able to craft them, and I want to see what the crafting is like. I've heard it's not very good, but we're going to give it a go anyway. By the way, I'm doing this specifically because as you see the circle, it encapsulates all of these. So what this means is that every single one of these levels is going to have... Our pack of Weaver followers in these echoes are more powerful, but drop large amounts of memory amber. So it's going to have the new mobs, and they're going to drop a lot of memory amber. So we do this one first, and then we do all the others. Direct, bitch. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Funnily enough, I do want to get back into more first-person shooters. I just held the button down, and his HP bar disappeared. God, I love Lightning Blast, dude. There you go. Oh, I killed all 3 of them. Nice. Nice. Look at that. Look at that. Sexy, baby. Sexy. Dude, Static Orb was good, but it wasn't that fucking good. Holy fuck, dude. Because they only do 95k, but I dropped fucking 6 of them. But I dropped 6 of them. And so normally you wouldn't do what I'm about to do and farm the shit out of these, but I'm about to farm the shit out of them. And the reason I'm going to farm the shit out of them is because now they have extra Weaver shit. See? Which means I'm going to get a lot more of this. Woven memory stuff. In fact, I need to go there and buy more because I finally found the Echo. Is it this one? Farsight Turtle. Yeah, this is the one. He said let's see. Reweave fate of your unique items that have legendary potential, either increasing or decreasing it. The new legendary potential is rolled. It's the same as the old. Such more uniques frequently likely to change legendary potential 0. Okay, so I'm probably like, I swear to God, I thought that the game advertised it as you would be able to use other legendaries with legendary potential to give you more legendary potential and or weaves on an item. I may be wrong on that. I'm probably really wrong on that. What we got? Stupid shit. Okay. That's really cool looking, though. Shred armor on hit. Increased shred armor effect. Holy shit. That's a shield? I thought that was a fucking catalyst, dude. $75 mana, 35 mana regen. If I can get this buffed up, this could be our new thing. I'll lose 1 to all elemental skills. True. But I'll get 9 more spell damage. Plus I'll have less mana, but I'll have more mana regen instead of gained as ward. So we'll see. We'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. Let's empower. Yep. Fools! Die, cretins! Die. All right, let's grab a few more. Come on, boys. Let's go. Oh, right here. This is it. 1, 2, 3.
I cannot do that.
Boom. Dude, bro, want some? What's up, buddy? Rune ward my ass.
I cannot be contained. My reset wasted.
And there you go. Easy, baby. Easy. That was a 96k, by the way, I saw. Which one is closer? That one is. I will admit I don't like the fact that Lightning Blast has kind of been nerfed because of it. Because of Meteor. That and I don't have cast speed anymore on my weapon. Which is kind of a bummer. My god, was it a lot of cast speed. But the problem is that it was making me run out of fucking mana. Now I don't have that problem. He wanted to have a meteor off. How about that? How about that? Looks like I won. I win, motherfucker! Oh, that's the big boy. That's the big boy. That's the big boy. It's just an entire wave of them. Nope, nope, not no more. Not no more, it ain't. No more demons for you, buddy. No more demons for you. Not going to happen. God, dude, Lightning Blast is so fucking good. Come on, boys. Let's have some fun. And there you have it. You got most of them. Pretty good. I'd say that's a win. I'd say that's a win. Not a one. Not a one I could use. Ain't that a bitch? With even stats that I want. Another champion down. Get fucking wrecked. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how actually good Meteor is now that I've put a little bit of thought into how I'm gonna buff it. Oh. What we got? Damn, only 13 intelligence, though. But it's got 42 ward per second. Necrotic damage, that sucks. I'm looking for a way to get rid of my staff and go back to 2 one-handed weapons. Or a one-handed weapon and a catalyst. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Because I have not seen any, hardly at all, one-handed scepters or wands that even come close to the staff that I'm wearing. And the fact that I have to use a staff to get the set bonus thing that I'm using. Huh. That's an interesting. I could be using Arcane Ascendants more. Here we go. Oh, nice. Scale Charm. Greatly increase the number of loot lizards. Oh yeah. Haven't been too many dungeon runs. I should do an arena run soon. See how far I can get. Especially considering I'm a little bit higher level now. Bingo. That'll do you. That'll do you. Yep. Hop it for those guys. Fucker wants a DPS race, I'll give him a goddamn DPS race. He ain't gonna like it.
I cannot do that.
You ready for this?
Mana courses out of mana.
Mana courses through me out of mana. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, speaking of which, like I was talking about it, man, I wonder how Space Marine's doing. Like, we're basically coming to the end of our last Epoch run. We're getting fairly close anyway. I'm probably going to keep playing it here and there. But I've pretty much achieved almost everything I wanted, with the exception of doing the unique hunting thing.
Fools.
We're going to see how that actually manifests once I finish all of these timelines. Yeah, I wonder when the Horde mode is coming. It was supposed to come spring of this year, so it should be coming soon. I just haven't seen anything on like YouTube. Made me think it's coming anytime soon. Normally I'll see something in my feed from one of the many people I watch on video games who do literally like just video game reviews as their like channel. Damn! What do we get? Of course, the volcanic orb. Of course, we got the volcanic orb. And there's the ding. Ring-a-ding-ding, bitches. What is that? Drops and kick shards. Cool. Bitches. We got a lance with critical strike multiplier on it. Lovely. $125. Wow, dude. That is kind of crazy. Only got one, though. Only got one. Should have did the other thing.
Fools.
Okay, let's go there. So that's area and elemental damage. I didn't know where the hell to put it, so I was just like, fuck it. We ball, boys. We ball. It does really work for clearing out those groups, man. And pop, pop. Burn, motherfucker, burn! What'd you get? Coming against the wizard. Alright, yeah, we're almost done with this level. You know there's some around here somewhere. Bingo. You notice something else I just realized? I don't have the ability to spark lightning Aegis like I used to. I just realized that because I used to use static orb to give me a guaranteed one. And meteor doesn't. So I have to use lightning blast to get it. Is that the last bit? Is there another boss down there that I didn't kill? Yeah, it gives me a lot of damage to have lightning users up. That's a very, very interesting question. So should I use static orb and lightning blast? Or static orb and meteor? Same time? I mean, I don't seem to need it. What a fucking ugh. So I guess I could get rid of this, right? Because it does help to have it. 48% increased lightning damage. But if I don't need it, then I don't need it, right? I'm kind of wondering what to do about that. Like, and what do I get rid of? So we have to go here. Now it's maxed. Go here. So it's guaranteed to give me lightning buff, and it gives me fusion blast. It would also allow me to pull all of the dudes together more easily, right? Shock chance, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. It only costs 38 mana. I really don't care about getting the mana back. We won't be able to have charge ground. No pull. I need pull. So I guess we could go. I don't know. I don't want to do that one. I don't know. I don't even know if I want this to be like this. Let's give it a go. So no more Arcane Ascendance. Right? I don't know, boys. That combo seems to work pretty well. Right? Do we max that out? I don't know. Do I use it on right click? That's the real question. Do I keep Meteor where it is? I'm not really sure. Let's max that out. So we got more damage ramp. How slow is it? It's not too bad. See, I've got static orb for... Yeah, okay. Okay, I like this. I like this. So it's static orb for the regular enemies, and then meteor for the bosses. That's what we're doing. We're going to get damage and projectile speed now. I might still work on this. So this gives me lightning Aegis, so it buffs me. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Look at that, dude! I didn't even know there was a dude back there! That's a cool looking shield. So we're at 16. Then 17 here. Right? So, no. 15 is where we're at now. Then 16, put there. Okay, for 17, 18, 19, 20. I could go 17, 18, 19. Or I could do this. I don't really care about that, to be quite honest. Do I get the orbs? Because they're just damage, right? Shock Chance might be a good one. I'm not looking for damage. I'm looking... It's a buff spell, essentially. So if it's a buff spell, then what should I be doing? I should be putting buffs on it, right? All right, let's try that again.
My brilliance is unequal. The judges will find you.
Okay. Buffs. Buffs. That's what we're doing. Nice. So I guess I only need 1 point in this to get the stun. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We could take points out of this. We don't need damage, and speed is like not necessary, so we can do that. Yeah, that's fine. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that, dude. Because it gives me the extra arcs right off the bat. This thing only arcs. Change additional time for each enemy you've been hit directly in the last 4 seconds, up to 2 times. So what this means is that the first one doesn't necessarily arc. But because I have static orb, with this, the first one will chain twice, which means it can also fork. So... Yeah. I like it, dude. I like it better than Arcane Ascendance. I do. I really do. Look at this, dude. This is so cool, man. This feel, yeah, I like this because I got 3 damage spells and two spells that are for moving around, not 3. I'm liking it, bro. I'm liking it a lot. Because it means I can just basically freely cast this, the lightning orb, and it does pretty well. And I don't have to spam it against bosses because that's what I got Meteor for. Or you do shit like this. Are you done? To shocked enemies. So we're at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's already got 1 in it. So we're at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, let's do the stun. Let's do the stun. Look at that, dude. It melted them fuckers. Oh. It always melted the little guys, but I hated throwing it on the little guys because it cost so much mana. Now it doesn't cost any, now it's 30 fucking mana, dude. This feels so good. And I've got fucking mass meteor in my back pocket for the boss boys who wanna get rough and tumble. It's amazing. There you go, bitch. Yeah, but this way I don't have to waste mana on the little guys. I can save it for the big boys. Or big groups. Oh, that was nasty. And Static Orb gives me guaranteed Lightning Aegis, which means I'm always gonna have Lightning Aegis. What we're gonna do is we're gonna remove these points, so it doesn't fuck with it. Stop respecking. I don't know where they're gonna go. We'll figure it out as we go. So it is funny. I am now at the point where the build, the change in my build is literally that I added Meteor and nerfed the shit out of Static Orb. So now Static Orb is all about that shock and stun. And giving me Lightning Aegis. That is beautiful. So Static Orb buffs Lightning Blast. And it buffs Meteor. It's a beautiful thing, boys. Thing of beauty. Nice.
Fools. Fools.
Get it, son. Ooh. So much amber, dude. There's a lot of dudes over there. Boom! I stunned him with the lightning blast. Fucking took him down a notch or two. Alright, let's go up and around. It's just fucking so sick, dude. Minion damage. Ain't that a bitch. There we go. I forgot what I was doing there for a second. Line them up, knock them down. Yep. I want stun on it so when I shoot bosses with it and the big boys, it will stun them. That's what I want. Now, I had that with Arcane Ascendance. I also had the ability to gain mana back by killing people at a distance. But it never felt that good because, you know, I'm standing still and I have to. I just have to stand there and do it. And a lot of times enemies won't come at you or even spawn if you're not close enough, right? So.
I cannot do that.
And I've got, on here, I've got maximum chains, right? 4 additional chains, plus 2 additional chains, and they can fork as well as chain. So good, baby. So good. Yeah, this really feels like it solves my problem. I'm using Meteor for the damage against bosses, Static Orb and Lightning Blast against the little dudes. Right? Static Orb is literally, it shocks, stuns, and buffs my other abilities. Shock on hits. I thought I was going to get some spawns of the Weaver boys. That's why I did that. We're going to come back to that in just a second. Yep. Stunned and shocked. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put that in. Still need crit for this. Do I want to give it more chains? Do I want to go back to spark orb charges? Ugh. Could do cast speed again. Yeah, let's do cast speed. 10% cast speed doesn't sound like much, but I guarantee you 35% cast speed is a lot. It's very noticeable. So, yeah.
Fools.
Fools! Same fucking helmet. Dude, like, it feels like I can't hardly find really good legendaries that are made for wizards. Like, almost all of them feel like they're not made for me. You know? It really does feel that way. Alright, we're done. What do we get here? Scepter, critical strike multiplier. Nice. I'll take it, baby. Nice, we got 3 of them. Ward per second. I'll tell you what I am going to do. Runa removal. Boom, boom, boom. Horse.
Yes.
All of those drop. Not a single one I can use. I am absolutely getting rid of this. Oh, it's a higher level version. I've never seen one of those. I've never seen that. Yeah, it's really one of those things where I'm pretty sure it's just going to let me re-roll the legendary potential on items. Not going to actually let me
Yes. Take care.
use them to fuel other items. I'll be right back. Stand by. Gotta pee. What up, boys? All right, we're back. Doing the thing. How we doing on the timeline? We're almost there. Almost. Let's do this one. Frost Fire Caverns. Let's see what are you doing, boys? What are you doing? What we got going on for us? Same shit, different day?
I cannot be contained. Out.
I'm sorry, what? What was that? Oh, that's right, you're dead. Fucko. Get it right, son. Dude, the lightning blast. Man. Oh my god. So good. So right. Do my wolf impression. Thank you very much. Lovely. I like watching it. What can I say? Titan Leash just got bitch slapped. All right, we're gonna go circle back around here. Look at it, murdering these fools. We're not seeing a lot of champions, which is kind of odd. There was one. He got obliterated. Bam. So I got 1 point left. Dock chance, probably. 100% stun, 100% duration, 10 ward on, 40 ward on stun.
Fools.
Ugh, nasty. More minion damage. You dead? Okay, good. But it's got a seal to fix on it. All right, we're good. All right, everything is good to go. Ooh, shit. I got that 50% distance, too. Juicy. Juicy as hell, ain't it? Fools. And there you have it. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bada boom. $7,000 damage, 7,000 DPS, wow. Boom. Boom. Motherfucker, get back here. What I thought. Dumb bitch. And that, my friends, is how it's done.
Not do that.
Yes, sir. Whooping that ass. Let's go. Got time for your bullshit. Good golly. What we got? Fuck it. I don't care. Boom. Jeez. Can't handle that bullshit, man. Just can't fucking handle it. Let's go.
Fools. Fools.
Like, once it's empowered, dude, it's so good. Lightning blast. That is why, my friends, we are here. All this amber. Juicy, juicy amber. All right. The other one is over there, so we're gonna. Where are we at? Yeah, wrong button. 17K. Yeah, the real dangerous thing, in my opinion, is that playing levels like this does not prepare you to fight actual bosses. And so you feel like you don't really need the Flame Ward. And then you go fight a boss and you just, like, stun lock the shit out of you. Fucking bucket. You know what I mean? Yeah, it feels way better to have Static Orb as like a debuffer buff spell. Feels really, really good. Got him 2 big boys for under 3,300. Damn, that's crazy.
I cannot.
A lot of lightning damage you got there, buddy. 320. All right, we got one more point. Where does it go? Where does it go? I mean, we could put it here, but then it's just a point blank only spell. And I don't really need it for that. I think I'm just going to put it on shock. More debuff. More debuff. I walked right under because he had like one of those you take less damage from distant enemies buff thingamajiggers. I figured I'd show him what's what and just walk under my meteors, because why not?
I cannot do that.
And that's why we have meteor. Oh, dude, those dudes drop a lot of amber. Alright, do we leave? I think we do. Right? There's a little bit more over there, but I'm not walking all the way over there for that.
Yes. Yes.
Shit. I hate when I do that.
Yes.
You can't have both this person up and the shop at the same time.
Take care.
Yes. All right, and this one's next. Yep. After this one, we'll be able to do the boss and then move on.
Fools.
Damn, look at all these motherfuckers, dude. Holy shit. That was like 4 champions back to back. Another one. I mean, there are some missions where there are just champions. I shouldn't be too surprised. They were the champions, my friend. 1600 PC. In raid for redundancy, nice.
Freedom at last. I must break free.
Goodbye, my friend. Pleasure doing business with you. Please do come again. Please do. Always good to have your business. Whoa, that's a big one. Okay. Long as we're clear, boy. Long as we're clear. That Tango's got it under control, you know what I'm saying? It seems like I do, man. Like, this is the first time I've built a build in at least this ARPG and a lot of others where it actually just works and comes together. A lot of times I end up choosing things that don't quite work very well together. I guess I'm getting better at it. Maybe that's what it is. Yep. Nope. Nope. Sorry. Sorry. Not today. Chill on hit. Gotta work. Boom! 3 meteors, dead dog. That's what I'm talking about. Just, it's out of this world, dude. Stuns him and then frickin' do the big drop. Any plans to go back to Darktide, XCOM, or Terra Invicta? That's one of them getting a lot of PC updates. Ooh, Terra Invicta has? Well, I mean, to be honest, the main reason I quit playing Terra Invicta, other than the fact that I fucked up my space fleet using ion engines like I knew I shouldn't have. I knew it was going to be a problem, and I was just like, but why does the game tell me it's not? I don't understand. Is because I don't like the way they do the government in the game. I wish it were more like Europa Universalis, where you actually just picked a fucking country and you were that country, rather than you're some shadowy agency that literally takes control of these countries and you could potentially lose them. You know, like think about it like this. It's like if you get yourself in a precarious position, you could literally lose the entire world, and you're still playing the game and your country's not conquered. I didn't like the way they went about that. And if it had been done in a way that was not the shadowy organization, and you just picked the United States of America, and then you could conquer other countries or bring them into your like political hemisphere, then I would probably have continued to play it as the updates came out. Because I love the space combat and how it's like the logistical networks are realistic and stuff. I think a lot of it had to do with implementation for me, and the fact that it was still even though it was a finished product, it was still very early in development as far as like its lifetime goes, and so it felt very rough. As far as Darktide, maybe it depends on what they do. Actually,
Fools.
is your camera going black periodically supposed to happen? Do you notice what I do when it goes black? I'm not dipping. I have a mini lozenge, mini nicotine lozenge, and it's not good to swallow. All right, we got loot. Where's? Oh fuck! There's another boss. Oh fuck! There's another boss. See, this is what happens. You get a meteor. Everybody gets fucking meteors. You want to fucking roll with me, son? I'll tell you what it's about. I'll tell you what it's fucking about. But yes, it's for spitting. And I was doing it on stream, and then when I was editing my videos, I noticed there's probably going to be a lot of people who are not going to mind, but there are probably going to be a lot of people who are turned off by it. And so I just decided to just blank the camera. He requires water to live. That's Human. Yeah, right. Fair enough. At least I'm fucking not like Baldy and choke up when I drink water. That was such a good video. But Darktide, it kind of lost me. Hang on a second. Okay. For a second, I thought I couldn't cast it further than 14. I was like, did I pick the wrong thing? But Darktide kind of lost me because of all the fact that they didn't really change the leveling meta. When they added new levels, it's basically just, the problem is that it basically became the same shit, and there was nothing really different about it except you could just go higher and higher, which is fine. But they also lost me a little bit because of the monetization thing. They had a shop ready to go, fully loaded with all the cool shit, and the game had all kinds of problems and all kinds of jank, and it was only later that they fixed those, but they got to have that fucking shop up, right? And the gameplay took me a long way. I'm going to tell you right now, I played that game because it's just fun to play. But then when I started to look at it more objectively, I started to not like it as much because of the other ones. And I know they were required to have a shop because of Tencent owns like part of their company and demanded the thing as part of their contract. That's fine. It still doesn't take away from the fact that it didn't feel... I don't know how to put it. It's really hard for me to articulate what exactly turned me off of the game. But it definitely had to do with the monetization and and everything around that. And then the fact that I basically got to the end of the game, leveled up my dudes. They added a bunch of trees and stuff. By the time they added the big trees that were really cool and you could change your build a lot, I just did not give a fuck anymore. That's really what boiled it down to. Yeah. And they built a lot of goodwill with Vermintide for me, even though Vermintide ended up not being a game I could play long run because I just wasn't good enough or wanted to play like super hard in-game shit. And that was fine, but I still supported the game. I gave money for it. I bought packs. I occasionally got online to play with some of my friends, that kind of deal. I don't think I have anything to replace with this, do I? Alright, let's do it. Boom. I accidentally hit the static button too much. Static orb button one too many times. That was my bad. The stun meteor, bro. That just tickles my pickle, I'll tell you what. I think you'd enjoy it. Cough, one of us. Cough. Phantom Brigade a while back. You took a look and just asking. If I remember correctly, isn't Phantom Brigade that one where it's got like the weird like time pause thing that the Battlestar Galactica game kind of has? Where both of you take turns at the same time and you're trying to predict where your enemy's going to go, kind of deal. So your abilities could literally miss if they move out of the way and you didn't realize that they were going to go. Yeah, that's the one. I don't know how much I'm going to like, how much I'd like that. I probably would, but again, there's only so many games I can play at any given time. That has a lot to do with it. And as you can see, I'm absolutely fucking enamored by this goddamn game.
Fools. Fools.
For some reason. That's a hella cast speed, bro. Anybody else? Oh, you want one? There you go. How you like it, buddy? Tastes good? Hope so. You see what the enemies are going to do ahead of time? Ah, I see. Yeah, I watched Azure Wind play a good bit of it, and it just, yeah, like I said, it just didn't tickle my pickle. But I mean, I'd potentially be willing to give it another go. But it's just like I try playing other turn-based strategy games and shit like that, and most of the time I just can't get into them. And it's because they're not XCOM. I like XCOM. I like the story. I like the aesthetics. I like most of the shit in it. Most of it. And every time I try to get into another one, it just kind of falls flat. But now that I'm not really wanting to play XCOM as much, that might not be the case. That was back in the day, so. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually considering playing the Oblivion remake, but I faked it. That's just nostalgia talking. Excuse me, sir. Pardon me. Please do not stand there. You want to see me raging again? Yeah. Well, honestly, that was half the reason why I had to quit, is because the kind of game, like, if I just wanted to play the original XCOM on Legendary, that wouldn't be as problematic. The game is not nearly as buggy if you use a bunch of mods to fix it. Oh God, here we go. You ready for this? I think I got them all. Yep, I got them all. Massive amounts of gold. Look at all the shards, dude. Holy crap. Look at all this loot. And almost none of it I can use. It's the only piece of loot I can use. Look at that. All this loot. All this loot. That's crazy, ain't it? Absolutely crazy. Look at all this shit, dude. Idols. All kind. Look at this. 13 attunement. That's crazy, dude. Are there any more staff of authority? Look at that one. It's got minion damage. There's 2 purples right here. What do we got? Where is it? Dark obsidian axe. Void damage on an axe. Anyway, let's get out of here before it crashes my computer. That's just overload. Yeah, that's why you need a loot filter. That is precisely why you have a loot filter. Nice. Critical strike shot. Okay, we are almost done. We're going to pop this one real quick, and then we're going to go kill the boss. But it's like one of those things, man. It's like if I have somebody else to play with for potentially some of those games, I will probably be more likely to be able to do it. It really just depends. The thing with Mech Warriors, I'm pretty sure I tried it with Shogs. I think I downloaded it and started to look at it, and I was just, I don't know. Maybe I've just become more of a casual as I get older. I say that as I'm playing an ARPG that's all about min-max. The hesitance might come from more of a place of the fact that I have a limited income and that I have a limited amount of money to spend on video games, and I'm streaming at the same time, and I've absolutely run myself into a corner trying to stay up with all the fucking latest games that I want to play so I can play them on stream. It caused me a lot of heartache, that kind of thing. Oh god. We're good. We're good. And I mean, think about Space Marine, dude. I fucking love that game. That game is so fun. And one of the only reasons I stopped playing it is essentially because I stopped. The variety kind of got out of it for me. I was waiting for Horde mode. Because I was able to play that game on the highest difficulty that it had at the time. And was able to just utterly decimate it. Especially playing my favorite classes. It's just crazy amounts of damage. Just absolutely insane. Go, son. What you got? What you got? That's what I thought. That's what I thought you had. Not a goddamn thing. Level 90 my ass. Oh, yeah. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's rock and roll. Deleted. Deleted. He didn't drop anything. Just meteor that asshole from across the map. Yeah, he didn't drop nothing. Just leave him be. Yeah, that right after Path of Exile launched, and I took that big break. A lot of that was because of I was still. Like, that was over 6 months after my mom died, and I was still just, yeah, it was still affecting me pretty bad. I mean, it felt like I was forcing myself to stream, and that I wasn't enjoying it nearly as much, kind of deal. And I was doing other things while I was streaming that wasn't good for my stream. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. These things are not related, by the way. Nada. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I could definitely see myself playing Darktide if they've got more cool shit, and it's been updated significantly, and there's a lot more stuff to do. Because one of the things I do remember is that I got to the end game. I had a max level veteran, I had a max level zealot, and I had a max level wizard, and I had no interest in playing the ogre, and so I basically had 3 max level dudes, and I'm just like, I don't really want to create another dude to go a different tree when I could literally just respec at any time. And the gear, I was already near the top of the gear farm where it's like I can only make my gear so much better. Everything else is just farming level 5 and skill, right? And so at that point it was like farming percentages, which is kind of like in this game, there's just a lot less loot, right? And a lot less gear slots to farm for.
Freedom at last. I did nothing wrong.
And so it felt like there was really nothing for me to do other than enjoy the game for the gameplay. And then once I got to the point where it was just like, well, I've had my fun, and now I need to move on. Kind of deal. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Space Marines is a fucking damn good game, too. I'd say Space Marines is better than Darktide. The only... Nice. Another one dropped. Hell yeah, dude. Yep. Sweet. The only thing that was with Space Marines was just like with Darktide, except only lesser. And it was just because they didn't have the Horde mode at the beginning. I gotta admit, if they had Horde mode, I might still be playing that fucking game. At least on occasion. But no. Yeah, that's cool, man. You want to post a copy of that? Oh, that's excellent. Let's see, and then we got Path of Exile 2, Last Epcoh, which I'm probably like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with ARPGs at the moment. But Path of Exile 2 came out, and it really sparked lit a fire under my ass because of Diablo and how disappointed I was with
Fools. Fools.
Sci-fi focused. I have my collection of ARPGs are fun. Yep. For me, it's one of those. Like I said, I don't know what it is. It's tickling my fancy. I think it's one of the reasons is because, especially with Path of Exile, because I can pause the game at any time, as long as I'm not in a group with others. It makes it real easy for me to play casually while I'm in my office, so that I can be available for my wife and children if need be, and it's not gonna fuck my game up. Like this one. I can't pause this game, so if I'm in the middle of a fight, literally everything else has to wait until I'm done.
I won't go back. They would cage us all.
Yep. Rune Prison, nice. Now that is an interesting. That's an interesting stat to have purple. I like that. Now if I could just have that plus like 13 intelligence would be great. I would like to point out that it's still not as high as the boots I got on. It's like 1% slower because it's got 15 movement speed on the boots, on the purple boots over here. And the mod is 24. these are 10%. The boots I have on are 10% with 30. They're just slightly not as fast. 1% slower. Boot up Inquisitor again. I thought about playing that, but a lot of it, I saw the graphics, and it's just, it looks fairly, it looks like a game that was, it's like Battle Sector. Like, they wanted to make a good game with the Warhammer IP, but either for some fucking reason, they were just limited in what they could do. And it's like, I've never had an inkling to go back to Battle Sector, because when it launched, it only had, you could only play the Blood Angels and the fucking Tyranids. And it was fun for what it was. I played it for my stream. It was great. You see that? He tried to run out of my meteors? What a dumbass. Don't you know meteors are for life, motherfuckers?
Fools.
My brilliance is unequaled. My research
Thanks, bro.
wasted.
The reason I keep farming those guys, even though they almost never drop anything, is because I have, on my Weaver tree, I've got 3 points, so 45% chance that exiled mages will have a chance to drop a pile of items with plus level skill affixes on it. Through the link in the hobby area. Roger, roger. Boom. What'd it give me? They put legendary potential on it. Holy shit. That means I... Ooh. Yep. That means if it puts another legendary potential on it, that means I could potentially, actually put some cool stats on it that will make it worth giving up my staff for. The problem is I won't be able to use Meteor, so I guess that really doesn't matter anymore. I need the staff, so never mind.
Fools.
That would be more for a static orb build anyway. We done? Yeah, just about. Got like a little bit more right here, and then we're good to go. And yeah, that's it. That's good to go. Let's go. Oh, let me see something here. Is that chance to shock 15%? It is. I need 2 points there. I need 2 points there. I don't really need innate conduit anymore. I don't hardly ever run out of mana. Legendary potential shield, nice. Legendary potential, not legendary, legendary. That. Remove. Got it, nice. Got the one I wanted anyway, yep. Movement speed, same thing, remove. Bam, got it. Lovely. In fact, I'm just gonna throw these on the ground. Sell that. Buy all these. And now we're off to the boss. Let's go. Yep, we got timeline stability. In this timeline, the immortal shamans rule with necromancy and fire. They have brought destruction to whatever the fuck that's called, and soon the rest of Eteria. I don't know, man. Maybe the ARPGs are hitting the dopamine hit. But I mean, I'll tell you this, dude. It wouldn't take much for me to get back into a game like Darktide. Because all of the monetization problems I had with it will kind of fall away if I have the ability to have fun and do cool things, right? Alright. So, I actually have objectives.
There you have
Destroy the bone tires, alright? Where's the next one? Go down here. Because like I said, even after the game... Even after the game added the big ass skill trees, it felt lackluster to me because, like I said, all my dudes are max level, and the gear there was still the gear problem where I was literally just hunting for a 5% better roll on a stat. I know that's what I'm doing now, but I meant like that's what I've been doing for a while, and so I was just playing the game like that, and that was it. It was just like Alien Fireteam, actually. I got to a point where, yeah, I could find people to play with, but the shit that I wanted to level up was already leveled up, and there was not really much else to do with it. And it was mostly randos, right? That didn't help. Get it? I think we got it. One in the middle. Tell you what I really wish had actually been a good game, and that's the Solaris Star Trek game. I'm not gonna lie, if it had gotten really good reviews and people were like, oh yeah, it's the best fucking Solaris game ever, Star Trek, yada yada, it's so good, I might have actually bought it and played it. Because I really do like grand strategies, and I would love to be able to play Star Trek in that way. Like, I remember Birth of the Federation was basically a Star Trek 4X game, which was amazing, by the way. And I'd love to play a game that's a grand strategy like Stellaris. But if you want to play that, just download the goddamn Star Trek mod. They did do surprisingly well with Fireteam Elite. I'm surprised it's not more popular and there's not more shit for it. There's only one fucking expansion. Maybe there were two. I don't remember. By the way, thank you. Thank you again for getting me Fireteam Elite. That was such a good game. I loved the way they had the skill trees set up where you had to do this kind of puzzle making shit to make all your skills work. I actually like that. I thought it was an interesting system. And instead of just allocating points everywhere, everything is a different size and it has different components. It has to connect to other things. It's kind of cool. It has its own charm, I guess. Yeah, I've been giving some thought to playing that frickin' Resurgence game that you talked about. That's because man, if there's a universe where storytelling with Telltale Games kind of shit is gonna be like really, really fucking good, it would be Star Trek, right? Because that game is Star Trek is a mostly cerebral world. That's why a lot of Star Trek games don't really work, is because most games require some type of violence. And a lot of times, you know, even though it's cool to be in starship battles or phaser battles, it's not really what Star Trek is about, right? And so having a more cerebral game where you actually deal with things like that is much more interesting to me. Like the Borg game that had Q in it, where it was like where they filmed it with a literal camera and made a game out of it. And Star Trek: A Final Unity, another great game that was an adventure click game that was all about the cerebral aspect of Star Trek. And though it was fairly simple and convoluted, being a point-and-click adventure game, especially making up another race that looks exactly like Romulans, and they have the exact same ships and stuff, it's just so stupid. Basically, they redid the Vulcan meme where Romulans are essentially Vulcans that are 2,000 years separated, and they don't control their emotions. And I think they were called the Galorians or something, and they're basically just fucking Romulans. They just made it up. Instead of just making them Romulans, they made a new one. It was so dumb. Click my link and go to the Star Trek tab. Oh god. Are you doing the thing again? You're doing the thing again, aren't you? Go to the Star Trek tab. Because of course you have a fucking Star Trek tab. PlayStation. Oh boy, you got a lot of systems, don't you? You actually have a Sega Saturn? Actually have one of those? Yep. Armada 2 was pretty good. You know what I need to do? I need to play the Armada. I need to finish my Armada playthrough. That's what I need to do. I've never played a lot of these games. DS9 The Fallen, Harbinger, Dominion Wars, Crossroads of Time. What the fuck are these games? Away Team, I always wanted to play that, and then I looked at it on GOG where I could get it for $5, and then I saw the UI, and I was like, nope. Because that's actually another good way that you could have Star Trek in video games. Is you have stuff like the Away Team missions where, you know, you're like some special forces kind of shit, and you actually have to like infiltrate and do all this stupid shit. It'd be pretty cool. Many of the missions where you literally can't kill people and stuff like that when you're playing it on like harder difficulties, that would be awesome. You could I'm not gonna lie, you could probably fit any genre of video game into Star Trek, or fit Star Trek into any genre of video game. Because I mean, there's action, there's combat, there's grand strategy. I know they have an RTS stuff in Star Trek. Oh, they're all up there. Okay, this is what down here. Okay, and so even with shooters, like I showed earlier on stream, I've got my oh shit, I thought that was a shrine. Like no, oh god, fuck. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, now I do. There we go. Eat shit and die. The only issue is it railroads you into picking certain types of officers to complete. Yeah. And in the UI is so like old school and janky. Like, dude, I played Fallout 1 and 2. I do not want to do that shit again. I am not interested. The only reason I don't play those games more is because the UI is so dog shit. Oh fuck. That's a lot of champions. Alright, we're good. We're good. Because like they're like popping up all over the place and shit. Like, no! You will die of laughter and shame. I've seen New Worlds. I've seen it. I remember seeing it in PC Gamer all those years ago. I know. And the thing about it is, they could have made it work. It could have been a good game. It really could have. But just like with most of the Star Trek games, just like with Armada and everything else, they're not looking to make a good game and have it be in the Star Trek universe. What they're doing is they're cashing in on the Star Trek name, and then maybe a good game comes out of it. Like Star Trek Elite Force and Elite Force 2. Elite Force 2 probably isn't as good as Elite Force 1, but because it was made later, it has better UI and better interface and better graphics. Even though the story is a lot weaker. Not that let's just be real. The story in Elite Force 2 and Elite Force 1 was also fairly weak and dumb and kind of convoluted, but what are you gonna do? Not more convoluted than fucking Armada, that's for sure. Or Armada 2 for that matter. And that's the thing that really kind of bothers me, is the only, like, there's been some fairly good stories in some of the Star Wars games. Like a Final Unity is a really good one. But again, they they create another race wholesale that's exactly like the Romulans, just on the other side of Federation space, which is like the most retarded thing you've ever fucking. Hello, hang on. Okay, ward retention and casting, and it gives you a no die thing. All right, whatever. 15 intelligence. Boom. What was this other amulet? Brigand thing. All right. Yep, graveyard trip. I loved Armada 2 doing saucer separations. I know, dude. It was good. The story was trash, but the gameplay was amazing. And the fact that you could build basically almost every single ship that was in Star Trek, including the Intrepid class, which is Voyager. What Voyager is. That's the class Voyager is. And you could even have them, yeah. You could do all kinds of crazy upgrades and shit. And they had all the Borg ships and all the Romulan ships. Like it was a really good game. I really liked it for what it was, right? As an RTS. But as a Star Trek game, just like all the others, it was fairly lackluster because the story is trash, and it usually doesn't have to deal with stuff that Star Trek normally deals with. You know, the more cerebral shit. It's always, you know, the Borg are gonna invade our space or some dumb shit like that. Right? To try to appeal to people who are not Star Trek fans, which is fine, I guess. But it always felt lackluster when normies probably aren't really going to buy a Star Trek game normally. Right? A lot of clips of Orville. It feels off. Picard being my first exposure to the series. Orville is not Star Trek, bro. Orville is a different universe made by Seth MacFarlane as a tribute to Star Trek. Because Star Trek wasn't, because the shit that's being pumped out by Paramount isn't Star Trek anymore. And when you lose a guy like Seth Rogen, is that his name, Seth Rogen? The guy who does Family Guy. When you lose a guy like that, you know, the liberal. When you lose that guy from your Star Trek, you're doing something fucking wrong, bro. You're absolutely doing something wrong. When a creative like that says, all right, they're all fucking up Star Trek, so I'm gonna do my own with blackjack and hookers, yeah, you fucked up. You fucked up. Big time. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, the Orville does bring it, and my God, does it have blackjack and hookers. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, if you want to watch Star Trek, modern Star Trek, Orville is where it's at. They do it better than modern Star Trek, like, hands down. Even Picard season 3 isn't nearly as good. They try, they really try, but unfortunately they have a lot of bullshit holdover from the previous seasons that they had to make up for, and it definitely hurts the story. He kicked ass with it too. Yes, he did. He did. Yeah, absolutely. Like, he did such a good job. Jesus, that hurt. All right, we're good. Bitches get stitches, boys. Like, I hate microtransactions and shops and all that other shit. But if you want to know how much I love this game,
Take care.
That cost me $10. You see what the lightning looks like? I got a thing on it. Threaded blast. That's what it's supposed to look like. And it was just like, I wanted to support the game. So I was like, what can I buy that I want to use? And so I found it. That one does look cool. Does look cool. This was a free pet. I don't know why the fuck I have it, but I do. I have no idea why. The Immortal Shamans stand atop the caldera. Their world-shattering ritual is really cool. Let's go, baby! Death to the infidel! Oh, fuck me! Oh my God, I was not ready for this. Yep. 40 fire resist. I'm at 72. 12 endurance. I mean, I guess we'll go with the endurance. 75 is the max, so. Free is almost always good, yeah. DS9 The Fallen is apparently a third-person shooter survival horror. Apparently, you've never played it. Can you still get it? Where do you get it at? Is it on GOG? Oh, sweet. You're going to buy me a copy? That sounds great. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Oh, you already own it. That was great. Sweet. You ain't going to spend no money. Awesome. So the game is loosely based, blah, 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 blah. The game uses Unreal Tournament engine. It's set in DS9 Space Station. When was it released? 2000. You can play as Captain Cisco. Oh, bro. Dude, why would they do that? So I get to play as one of the best captains ever, fucking Worf, or the goddamn terrorist chick. How? Why would you do this to me? Come on now. Come on. That's bullshit. I'm totally going to pick the terrorist. By the way, just in case you're wondering. Religious zealot who is a terrorist? Let's do it. In Star Trek? Yes, please. Yes, please. Is there any gameplay of this thing? How bad does it look? This is a picture from the game. That doesn't look half bad. That doesn't look half bad at all. Oh, I can't click that on we're gonna avoid looking at that. Excuse me. When something is in quotation marks free, I'm just gonna move on. Yeah, so that looks cool. That looks cool as shit. I will play that on stream. If there are good Star Trek games that I can get my hands on, Fire Crit, I will absolutely play them. Hands down, 100%. All right, we're done. Boom. On to the... We got one more. We got two more. What is the Shattered Road? I have no idea what that is. Last Ruins timeline. Okay, well, let's hit one up. We can talk post-stream about it. Well, to let you know today, when I get off stream, I'm probably going to have to leave because we're doing our monthly trip to college. I'm not going to be home for a few hours. But if you want to talk on Discord, I can probably chit-chat back and forth. Totally down. But just FYI. And even if I get off a little earlier, I have to work on videos because I didn't do any of my videos yesterday that I made. And God, that is so fucking good. I love my new build, dude. It's so fun. So fun. But it's just like I want to make an extraction shooter in the Star Trek universe. I don't know how many of the books you've read, but I've talked about it quite a bit on stream about the A Time 2 series and how the beginning of the series starts with a place called Rashinar that they nicknamed the Boneyard. And I have decided that's going to be the title of the game, Boneyard, and set in the Star Trek universe. And when I say extraction shooter, I do not mean a PvP extraction shooter like Tarkov. I do, but not quite the same. Like I want it to be mostly PvE, right? So it's you against the environment and against pirates and against other factions and shit like that. And the idea behind it is basically you could be like someone with Star Trek intelligence, Star Trek. Starfleet intelligence, excuse me. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. They are... You could be like part of Starfleet intelligence, Klingon intelligence, potentially maybe like adding sub-factions like the Vulcan Science Institute, stupid shit like that, right? Where it gives you like slight bonuses to certain things, right? Or you could be a pirate, you know, be part of one of the Dominion factions, or you could be a Cardassian agent, like Federation Cardassian agent, like because the Cardassians eventually do join the Federation, at least alliance-like how like Klingons do. But you could be part of, you could be a Cardassian as part of Starfleet intelligence. You could be part of the I forget the name of the faction, but it's basically a Cardassian only faction where they want to go back to the old days before, you know, the Dominion completely destroyed their fucking planet and the Federation saved their asses. Yeah, that. They want to go back to that. Who owns the rights to Star Trek games at the moment? Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to make a game, but I can't get it out of my head, and I keep thinking about how I would make the game. So what I decided to do was make a fucking, what is it called? A game document. This thing right here. Basically, the premise of it, how it's going to be set up, what the weapons do, how the anomalies work, how the levels will be laid out, all the different factions, all that stuff. And the thing about it is like, even if I made the game and Paramount told me to shove it, like here's the reason I didn't just change it to another universe, because I can't, because it's hard for me to think about it without Star Trek as the basis. But if I ever actually did make a game and Paramount wouldn't let me use the Star Trek thing and, you know, cut me a deal or some shit like that, I would just change it and make it something that I would like, that was based on Star Trek, but it's not quite. Something more that's like Star Trek, but in the Heinlein universe of Starship Troopers. So essentially, like, take Starship Troopers, combine it with Star Trek. That's a universe that I would create, with multiple different factions and races, most of them human. I wouldn't make a universe where there's so many aliens in it like Star Trek did, because it was a different, you know, setup when they first started. I would create a more human-centric universe where there are aliens and they do exist within the Terran Empire or whatever the fuck it is, something like that. I could see setting up a signal booster for that's the kind of thing. And not only that, the different types of weapons work differently in different environments, right? So, for instance, if you're in a certain type of radiation field, phased weapons like phasers, including disruptors that use phase arrays, will be less effective. They'll do less damage, they'll be more energy inefficient, so on and so forth, right? Just like in certain other types of radiation or near spatial anomaly, or certain types of spatial anomalies, plasma weapons won't work as well, right? So even if you're using a phased array weapon, but it produces charged plasma as its discharge, then it could be affected in the same way, right? And that's the kind of thing I want to do. Imagine Tarkov, but instead of Tarkov, you're in a starship graveyard inside this battle from the Dominion War. It's been 5 years, so it's most of it is scrapped. A lot of the ships have been cleared of bodies, they've been cleared of tech. There's still some salvage left, but a lot of it's deeper in where it's more dangerous, more spatial anomalies, stuff like that. So all the stuff on the outskirts, it's easy pickings, but most of it's already been picked over. You might find little scraps here and there. And what you'll mostly find are pirates and other factions doing what you're doing, and or using them as bases or scouting things and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing I want to do. And you can make yourself part of... and so every level will literally be on a starship, right? It will be, you will start or end on a starship, or in the space around a starship. So because of the setting, not only can you have starships everywhere that have gravity, you can have starships with no gravity, because many of them, their gravity systems, even though they go out last, many of them won't have any left because they'll be stripped. So it'll be a completely zero-G environment. Not only that, because these starships are in a graveyard, many of them will have hulls open to space, where you can literally exit the ship via the hole in the side and literally like climb and or walk on the hull of the ship to go somewhere else on the ship. So you could literally start, walk yourself to a fucking hole, climb out, walk on the ship all the way to another entrance and cross the entire level doing that. Something like that, right? That's the kind of setup we're going with. And this is going to be inside vessels that we all know. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons of assets where you can find out how find out how these ships are built, the way their corridors are, the aesthetics of the ships, and I mean, there's tons and tons of lore on this about measurements and how big they are and what they do. And so, you know, you start in like this little corridor, and you walk in, and there's a fucking, and you're in a transporter, you're in a transporter room, but it's like tilted on its side because you're walking on the fucking, you're walking on like a wall or bulkhead, right? Because you're wearing magnetic boots because it's a zero-G environment. And so so a lot of your kinetic weapons don't need to actually be firearms with gunpowder, although they would exist because I would make that part of the game. But they would be more crude, used by pirates and stuff like that, because they're the only kinetic weapons are literally the only reliable projectile weapon that you can use in every single environment. They are not affected hardly at all by radiation or spatial anomalies, unless the spatial anomalies literally warp space and time, so your bullets won't fly straight. That's the only time that would work, right? You might could do the Orville. Seth would just do it to flip off the execs. I mean, bro, the problem is I don't know hardly any of the Orville lore. I watched it in passing. I really didn't pay attention to any of the bullshit that they set up because basically,
Yes.
I was so disillusioned by the modern Star Trek, it just kind of turned me off of all of it. Kind of. But I've definitely watched a few of the episodes, including the one where they were trying to change the gender or sex of a baby, of an alien baby. And like they handled it very well, man. Absolutely spectacular. I loved it. But like, the reason I say that is what I mean when I say that is that I could not do the same type of world building that I can inside of Star Trek that I couldn't do that in the Orville, right? I'm not able because I don't have the requisite knowledge to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? In the same way that somebody who watches it religiously might. And so that would kind of throw me off. But I get what you're saying. This only has the salvaging part. What about the astronauts? Oh God, fill the library of computers full of stars. Yeah, so essentially, like in Tarkov, you roll around, you find bins, and you search through them. That's essentially what you'll be doing in the game, except you'll be finding stuff like the modern weapons in Star Trek, which will be augmentable. They'll have all kinds of attachments and stuff, just not nearly as crazy as modern day firearms, where it's like millions of manufacturers. You know, it'll be streamlined somewhat, but not nearly as much as that other extraction shooter that was in space. It was way too streamlined for me. What the fuck else was I gonna say? But not only that, so you would obviously have missions where you're going to certain ships to like pull records of something or to find a specific item that was like on the ship for some secret mission or some dumb shit like that, right? Because you're like part of Starfleet intelligence or you're Klingon intelligence or you're a pirate or any of these number of these deals. And this is the lens that your quests will be focused through. And so not only will you be rummaging around to collect like isolinear chips and little doodads here and there from like stuff that's maybe like left in a drawer. Somebody left, a pack of chewing gum or some dumb shit, right? And what it'll do is you bring it back and you don't get money for it like in Tarkov. You would get like literally Federation credits, which are essentially requisition points. So you bring it in, you now have requisition points, so now you can requisition items based on the amount of salvage that you brought back that's worth a damn. And like I said, the PvP aspect would be optional early game, and then in game it would be more required. So if you really want to go do the absolutely crazy shit that's full of radiation, spatial anomalies, fucking all kinds of crazy shit, holograms that are fucking going crazy. Like I'm literally thinking of making levels where there are 17th century fucking French troops rolling through with fucking gunpowder firearms. Not what am I called? Flintlock firearms. Like that's the kind of shit I want to do. That's the crazy like literally you invade this thing and they're Herodians fighting World War II dudes with Tommy guns. Like this is crazy. There's so much. There's so much, dude. Imagine an entire quest line where Moriarty from Star Trek The Next Generation and Picard Season 3 is a villain, or he helps you, or any number of options that you could go with, right? It would be insane, dude. Like, if I were given creative freedom to do like this is the thing. This game could definitely be built if I was just the dude giving the ideas. That's it. Like if I could just manifest it, right? Then I could probably make it happen. But the problem is that I don't have the requisite technological skills to be able to do the things that you really need to do to be able to make a game like that, right? And I've downloaded Unreal, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of a go, especially once I get my game document done. But yeah, I mean, there would be all kinds of shit in the game that where you could build your own weapons. Of course, I would do that because, like, first when you start out in the game, the Federation isn't going to give you a Type 2 phaser. Why would they do that? You're going into a junkyard. You know what I mean? You're a lowly crewman. What the fuck are you talking about? Get the fuck up in there. Take this little hand phaser and have at it, son. You're lucky we gave you a fucking spacesuit. That's the kind of shit that I would do. And I know it's like, and it's kind of not how the Federation would work, but you know, we can roll with it because in the book that is one of the problems with the Boneyard is that they're not getting enough supplies and crew to fully like do the job at the graveyard site that they need to do to get all the honored dead out, to salvage all the technology that needs to be salvaged so that pirates don't get it. Funnily enough, most of the reason they salvage the technology is not to reuse it because it's easier just to make new shit. It's so that pirates don't get their hands on weapons of mass destruction. Did it just make the spell damage higher? Is that what it did? I empowered it twice. What the fuck did it do to it the second time? I'll have to look at one of the others. We'll give it a go. Did I get it? I did. Okay. We're good, boys. We're good. Never say never on making games. Yeah, I mean, it's like that's the thing is I've never really wanted to make games. I like playing games. That's why when, you know, the YouTube thing and the Twitch thing started to take off, I was like, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. But I was always working. I didn't have the ability, or I had too many responsibilities to be able to take 6 months to a year off work to try to see if I could do it, right? And then I got disabled, and well, here we are. But like I said, I never really wanted to make games as a living. I never wanted to. I'm a wrench turner, man. You know what I mean? But I cannot get this idea out of my head. It keeps bugging me. It keeps like, what level are we at? 90. It keeps chasing me. You know what I mean? Like at least once or twice a day, and several times a week. I constantly think about what I would like to see for a game based on Rashinar, and a lot of it is because I love the book. That's why. Because the battle for Rashinar is a very compelling piece of Star Trek lore that I don't think a lot of people really appreciate in the way that I think they should. Because it highlights, because one of the things I love about it is that not only does the Battle of Rashinar highlight the inadequacies of highly developed bureaucracies, i.e. like in the United States of America. What they also do is it also shows that when the shit hits the fan, the Federation, just like any other governmental organization, has to make tough choices of where they send their resources. In some fucking battle site that's almost entirely picked clean and is just full of deadly spatial anomalies is not really high up on the fucking list, you know what I mean? No matter how important they may say it is. And then not only that, because of what happens at the battle, I won't really spoil it, but let's just say it goes bad for the Enterprise and Picard. They have this, like, not only do they have to have a redemption arc in the actual book, but they have to have a redemption arc over the next, like, 8 books. And it's so fucking good, dude. It's so good, because it's like right before Riker leaves to go captain the Titan. It's like, what is it called? When you give somebody a send-off with a piece of art, I forget what it is. But yeah, it's definitely that. It absolutely is that. Without a doubt. And it's amazing. amazing. Craft your own experimental items? What? Cool. That sounds fun. I need more of that. Oh, we're done. And adding stuff like the ability to salvage stuff and break down the stuff yourself instead of like spending it on requisition points so that you can make your own weapons. Like I would love an entire like crafting system inside, because that's one of the interesting things about especially Starfleet is that one of the things that all the other races bitch about humans is that we're so goddamn clever. And that you give a human like a toothpick, a fork, and a power supply, and they'll have a like fully automated like magnetic launching system on their hands, and they will be able to use it as a fucking weapon. You know what I mean? Like this is like one of the reasons why in so many of the episodes the Klingons are like, don't underestimate the humans, because they're crafty. That's what they always say. It's just like the Vulcans. Like the Vulcans are smart too, but why do people not say that about Vulcans? Because they do not pull pure magic out of their butthole in any given time. That's why. Because Vulcans don't operate on gut instincts. They operate on pure logic. Whereas humans use the intelligence, creativity we got to be entirely super creative and come up with solutions that, hell, it might not work, but fuck it, man. We're dead anyway. Let's fucking roll with it, right? That's kind of how, fucking hold my beer, motherfucker. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that is the majority of Star Trek episodes is, I don't know if this is gonna work, this is really fucking dangerous, but god damn it, hold my beer. They don't say it that way, but that's exactly what they're doing. Like, does anybody remember? It was like the third episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where Wesley saves them with the like tractor beam thing. That was literally hold my beer and watch this. He was actually drunk. I don't want to hear it. What am I doing? Slay enemies to locate the gate.
Fools.
And so one of the things that I wanted to do with the game was to bring the, like, because people really do want a more gritty and hardcore Star Trek. The problem is that everybody that tries to do it ends up fucking doing it the wrong way, right? Because they make the Federation dark. They make the Federation the bad guys. And it's like, no. If you want to make it dark and gritty, then what you do is you put people like fucking Spock, Kirk, and Janeway, and everybody else, you put them in situations where they have to actually make hard moral choices. And to where they actually have consequences for doing the right thing. Because the vast majority of time, there are no negative consequences for doing the right thing. Even though they say there will be, there almost always aren't. There's some reason why it doesn't end up happening. And they get rewarded for doing the right thing. And that's not what virtue is. That's not how it works. If there is no sacrifice, then it's not virtue. Then it's not virtuous. Simple as. And so I really want to bring that into bear because in the books they do, right? Because you have Geordi and Data and Picard and Riker and Deanna and Beverly and all of them. And they're all the same people. But they're dealing with fucking murdering, raping fucking pirates who will literally shoot you in the face for looking at them the wrong way, right? Orion slavers, Andrasi merchant ships. These are the guys that will sell you something and then literally transport it to another dimension so your ship blows up when it enters war. They do not give a single fuck. They are disgusting. They are literally the embodiment of the caricature that communists make capitalists out of. Boom. All right, and this is the last one we got to do, the last timeline before we could do the big stuff. So I am fucking totally ready for this.
Yes. Take care.
But I have to go. So what I will do is I'll rant a little bit more about my game and then I'm probably gonna have to get out of here. Where is it? So like one of the things I want to do is that the graveyard has not broken up after all these years, 5 or 10 say, due to a technobabble like gravitational anomalies. That's essentially what happens in Rashanar, is that they have all kinds of these weird anomalies that they theorize are keeping the graveyard together. I actually know what it is because I read the book, and obviously, but we don't have to. The thing about it is that you can change the story to make it different from the book so that the thing that's causing everything doesn't have to be the same exact thing. You could make it that way and then make it like some kind of event where you finally destroy the graveyard by destroying the thing that's holding it all together, right? You could do that. And that could be like some kind of event where then it resets a lot of stuff. It inhabits a strange area of space. Now, in the book, it's like a light year away from the nearby solar system that it's inhabited by a Federation member, and that's why the battle took place there, is because they were literally protecting them from the Dominion, and so that's why there's a gigantic graveyard. And I want all the different types of weapons, including firearms, because regular kinetics are fine because the Federation has kinetics, the Klingons have kinetics, and the reason is because they're good in certain situations, right? The freaking TR-115 freaking sniper rifle thing can literally shoot through goddamn walls because it uses a freaking transporter, right? But they have versions of it in some of the books that do not have the micro transporters. They disable them and they shoot like regular firearms with an electromagnetic rail. And then, well, that's what they shoot with anyway. And then when they come out the end, it's teleported directly to the person. But you can turn that off and just make it like a regular firearm. So where after it exits the vehicle, after it exits the electromagnetic rail, it acts just like a normal bullet. And that's the kind of thing I want to implement in this. And not only that, have actual firearms that use things like gunpowder. Just make those really cheap and like pirate weapons, right? Because they're useful, they're cheap to make, it's easy to replicate the things to make gunpowder. Hell, it's easy to replicate gunpowder, right? It's easy to replicate bullets. You might not be able to do it with a Federation replicator, but if you've got one on your ship and you're an Orion pirate and you don't have the ability to make disruptor weapons, you know, a gigantic fucking double barrel 12 gauge shotgun sounds pretty good when you ain't got nothing else, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about with that. So on that note, my friends, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate you listening to me rant about my game, about this game, about all the games. And on that note, I'll see you. Until then, be around. Peace out.